Hello and welcome to the International Tournament. This is a 3-player game. I'm Gavatron in green. We have jzebra or jzebra in blue. And AaronWebber's playing yellow. I'll be playing first. From this point onward, I'm just going to call them by their colors. This is a random mix game. Let's have a look what's in the game today. We have Colosseum is the only military action wonder, and it's in the game. No other leaders giving military actions. Missing some of the kind of better wonders like Library of Alexandria, Pyramids, missing as well. Age 1 we have Yanjishka. Cons in the game, look out for heavy cavalry tactics. Michelangelo could work well with these happy face wonders. And St. Pete's, we have Great Wall, which could be change the course of the game. Universitas Carolina means that alchemies may be a little less worthwhile. H2, we have Gowdy and Cook for colonies. Shakespeare is an opportunity for libraries and theaters. Nobel's in the game, again, making science production a bit less valuable. Newton, though, makes scientific method pretty good. Railroad, we have Ocean Liner and Statue of Liberty, so that can make up for lower food production. Bill Gates and Sid Meier and Einstein means labs are pretty important. Pierre de Coubertin means the arenas are good. Charlie Chaplin might be good for some extra happy faces. And we have International Red Cross here. Manhattan Project, spaceflight and internet. So yeah, I think science production seems pretty important. My first turn here. Colosseum is looking pretty attractive here. Acropolis, not so much. Boudica, not so good. I'd rather grab one of the wonders. And Colosseum is the best here. This will allow me to go for Republic, potentially, with that extra military action. And it just works out nicely for colonies and drawing tactics. Okay, so blue goes for the Stonehenge, and yellow will grab Acropolis, Richland, and Boudica. So they're kind of both going for science early builds here. Blue's got the Stonehenge, and he'll be looking for a leader, and yellow with the Acropolis and Boudica will probably be going for some early science as well. I feel pretty good with Colosseum here. Nice that urban engineering genius is here. Let me just turn on this cursor again, sorry. So an obvious play here would be to build a AJ mine, increase population, and then grab the engineering genius. There's an argument for getting the urban growth instead of increasing the population, but I'm not a fan because I think this is just going to result in some corruption issues potentially. I like urban growth if you can get it for your first turn so you can go lab first, but not as big of a fan of it for your second or third turn. So this is going to be my turn, I'm pretty sure. I mean, not many other options here. Now, leaders. I wouldn't mind Aristotle. Hippocrates would be better, I think. Homer, not bad. I mean, I already got the happy face from the Colosseum, so that'll give me 2. Sun Tzu, I mean, there's no Columbus. There's only Jan Žižka there, so not quite as appealing. Ashoka needs a particular setup of cards, so possibly. So I'd probably rank them Hippocrates, Aristotle, depending on what cards show up, and then maybe Homer, and then those 2 at the bottom. It's nice having this extra pop here so I can play an event potentially. So let's see what cards I get. Open Borders Agreement, that's nice. I'm going to use that for maybe blue. And look at the early alchemy, the early irons and alchemy. So Ashoka is looking not bad here. Aristotle's looking not bad. We'll see what blue's going to do. Blue's going to build a mine and go for Aristotle. Okay. Going for a science play with his Stonehenge. Yellow elects Boudica. Will work well with his Acropolis. And he will take the urban growth for a little savings of rock next turn. So I got some good leaders I need to choose from here. But I got my eye on this iron. It's looking pretty nice. If I build a second lab, I'll have 4 science next turn. So it's always nice to have something for development of civil life. So I could develop it with that. So that's another incentive. The only issue is I don't have enough actions to grab a leader, grab the iron, build a lab, and also increase population. So I'm going to be at risk of losing out on the development of religion event. But before I do any of this, I got this open borders agreement. So getting this up early is nice. So got to decide who is less of a threat. Neither of them are threatening particularly. Very science-based for blue and sort of similar for yellow here. But I guess the Acropolis and Boudica means that yellow is maybe somewhat more of a threat. So I'm going to go ahead and offer this to blue. Now, I have some options for what I'm going to do in my turn. Hippocrates could be a possibility. Homer doesn't seem quite as good because I do have the happy face from Colosseum, but it's an option. Sun Tzu as well, so I'll have to think about that for next turn. So blue accepts my pact, which is awesome, but sort of expected because he wants that extra military action too. So here's the first big decision of the game. Which leader to take? We know we want to build a lab and grab the iron. That way we have 4 science next turn. We might get development of civil life coming in and develop that. And it's just nice to get iron up early. Then with our last action, which leader do we take? So Hippocrates, I mean, pretty good, but there's Homer as well. We already have a happy face from Colosseum though, so maybe a bit overkill. And Sun Tzu, I've been thinking a lot about Sun Tzu here. We have the extra military action from open borders, and then we'll get another one with Colosseum, so just draw a ton of cards and be able to keep a lot of cards. And yellow with Boudica will be a bit hampered with Sun Tzu's extra 1 strength. So that's another plus for Sun Tzu. To me, it's between Sun Tzu and Hippocrates. And I think I'm going to go for Sun Tzu here. Synergizes a bit with Khan and Zhishka. So, and we could maybe even go into a colony game with him. I mean, there's no huge incentive. There's no ocean, or there's no Suez Canal, but there is Cook. So yeah, let's go with Sun Tzu, and we'll elect him next turn. And depending on what event we get, we could develop the iron, and maybe grab something like Code of Laws, or just start upgrading our iron. Knowledge of the ancients, not bad. And there's the first colony if we were going to go down that road. And Nostradamus comes out. Blue will pick Aristotle and grab Code of Laws. That seems good. And alchemy. So with his Stonehenge, he could probably develop those ones. Yellow will grab the other alchemy. So no more alchemies for me. Urban growth and increase the population. So he's got a free pop. And he'll start his Acropolis. So yellow has an idle worker. Blue has an idle worker. I don't. So the risk of playing politics is the temple event might come out. The upside is a science event comes out, I can start iron. So what my turn's going to look like is probably elect Sun Tzu, increase pop are the two things I need to do, and then maybe develop iron and upgrade once. Or I could grab rich land and break through maybe. So that's what my turn would look like. Guardian of the Ancients is a possibility for politics as well as strategic territory, but I'm leaning more towards the knowledge of the ancients to keep up with science with these other two guys. And strategic territory, I mean, I know I'm going to get more cards coming up, but maybe I should wait a little bit until I get some boat cards, colony cards to really throw this out there. So let's play Knowledge of the Ancients. There's some good wonders in Age 1, so I think this makes sense. Okay, I gain a population. So that's kind of good because I don't have to use that action anymore. Although to get out of corruption, I will. So let's elect Sun Tzu with my extra military actions. He seems good. And then to get out of corruption, I'll need to either increase population or build a warrior, but I don't really want to build a warrior, so I'll increase population again. And then what to do with my next actions? I mean, I could start on the Colosseum and then grab a card, but I mean, breakthrough and rich land seems pretty nice to get the iron going. And then I can start maybe working on this next turn, potentially. Not truly interested in either of these two leaders, so I don't mind sticking with Sun Tzu a little bit more. The other option would be to build a stage and grab the rich land. But I think this breakthrough is pretty nice, considering I'm probably the lowest science of these two guys. So let's grab the rich land and the breakthrough. I'll definitely be able to use the breakthrough next turn with the iron, so I won't be locked out too much with my hand. So let's end the turn. And I wonder if blue's going to grab Gutenberg to get his alchemy going. And then maybe yellow will grab Nostradamus. We'll see. And let's see what cards we get. Okay, some tactics, some more pacts, and pestilence would be the only event I could play. And swordsman is coming down. So this tactic would be great. Okay, so blue will take irrigation, get another science, switch to Gutenberg, probably start up his alchemy. Oh, first get the Code of Laws, and then builds a lab with his ability. Population increase and works on his wonder. Still has a fair bit of potential science from the Stonehenge. AaronWebber yellow will finish the Acropolis. Moves up to 3 strength. And he's going to get into Nostradamus and grab an engineering genius for some of those nice Age 1 wonders that still haven't really appeared yet. So for my politics, I have a couple pacts, but I'm not too interested because I want to keep my open borders agreement. So then it's between strategic territory and pestilence. Pestilence is reduced in power a little bit because Nostradamus yellow will know that it's being played. So I don't see the harm in playing this, even though I don't have any boat cards, because I'm sure I'll draw some. And it might put me into some corruption issues. Let me show you the two options I have first. So I could get into iron, upgrade with a rich land and without, and then probably grab the swordsman, which works well with my Colosseum, and it's one civil action seems like a good price to pay. Alternatively, I could finish my Colosseum and grab the swordsman. Both cases I'll have 2 blue tokens left over. So I could build a warrior if a 2 rock or 2 food event comes out. So let's play out the strategic territory. Okay, a 2 rock event comes out. So I think I like getting into iron here. And then, oh, I don't have corruption. So I can definitely finish this next turn and then grab in the swordsman. There's an argument for frugality. If I can have an issue, if I can manage my food correctly, that would help me pop out 2 populations before. But I think the swordsman is a bit more valuable. Now, if I end my turn here, I got to discard 4 cards. So I could save 1 card by throwing out one of these tactics. And then I'd only have to discard 3. So I'll discard that one. And then these 2 I'm not too interested in. And I think that's pretty good getting the... Hang on a second, did I build? I think I made a mistake here. I wanted to upgrade. Like this. Yes, so I will have to build a warrior. And that gives me more of an incentive to get the swordsman if I have 2 warriors. Right, so I think I'll do the same, play out a tactic, and then discard these 3. Yeah. See what cards come my way. So I do get a boat card and I get 2 more territories. Knights appears and Universitas is a nice wonder. Code of Laws I would still really like, but I imagine AaronWebber's going to snap that up. We'll see. Okay, this is kind of bugging me, so I wanted to talk about that last turn before I move on to the next turns. I think I made a mistake there. So I had the rich land, the chance to upgrade my iron, and I ended up building a warrior to stave off corruption. I don't think I needed to do that, and I think that was a bit of a poor decision. I could have chosen not to use the rich land to upgrade, and then I could have got out of corruption that way. I mean, I possibly could have upgraded 3 times here, but that might not have been the best move. I still think grabbing swordsman was good, but I don't think I needed to build that extra warrior to stave off corruption. I could have just upgraded twice without the rich land. So whether that's going to be a big problem, I'm not sure. I mean, it would be nice to not have a second warrior if I'm going to go for the medieval army tactic, but going for colonies, having an extra warrior doesn't matter too much. But anyways, I just wanted to explain that because I felt like it's not the best move by me. So let's see what the other guys do. So blue's going to seed something, opens up development of markets. Okay, maybe I'll take the food for that one, get another population. Finishes Stonehenge. Okay, so maybe he's going to go for the Universitas Carolina. And develops alchemy. Ooh, maybe I could go for a raid on that. Oh, he does get patriotism though. Wonder if yellow's going to take that code of laws. Bread and circuses. Okay. Increases population, gets that out. Guess he doesn't have a source of happiness yet. Has he seeded something? No, he hasn't, so possibly not immigration. So, once again, I don't want to seed that because I'm losing the element of surprise from yellow. This one's not as appealing. I think my rock production's looking pretty good. I plan to upgrade again next, so I think I'll seed this developed territory. More food. Oh boy. Okay, so I could take rocks and food. Finish the wonder. And upgrade once. And build a warrior. So there's that option. Getting this code of law is pretty awesome. So is there any other way to do this? If I upgrade, increase pop. Yeah, so then I can get code of laws this way. I need to work on this wonder, I think. So next turn I'll develop code of laws. And no, this still puts me at corruption, doesn't it? Well, if I build that, it would. So then I could grab frugality. And then next turn I could use that. That might put me at a situation of having, so if I increase pop next turn, have 2, and then I'll have 2 consumption when the age ends. So I'll have 2 food sitting around, so that's not really that good. Don't really want to develop swordsman. Code of laws. Rich land doesn't appeal to me. I mean, I could build one without the engineering genius, like that. That seems pretty good. The odds of the age ending are not that high. I mean, so the next person will have, blue will have 15 cards left, lose 2, maybe 2 more, that's 11. And then he would have to take a bunch of cards. So I definitely can still finish this. Bad part about this is losing out on knights. But I think the code of laws is a bit better. There's 2 more knights in the deck. So I think that seems pretty good. Okay, what do I discard? The raid. Well, I could build another one of these warriors. Could build another warrior, and then I could put pressure on blue. Okay, thanks. I wonder if that seems like it might be a good idea. So that would mean I would have 8 if I attacked, so he would need 2, 4, 6, 3 defend cards. I think that seems pretty good. So I still need to discard 2. I think maybe I'll discard the pestilence here. Keep the raid. Maybe discard the wealthy, because I have already such good rock production. Yeah, that seems good. I still want this tactic, especially if Jan Zizka comes out, but Isabel wouldn't be that bad of a choice either. Especially if I'm going for colonies. Okay, and the vast territory's here, and Jan Zizka's here too. So let's see. Blue opens up the last AJ event, which is military cards. That's going to make it even easier for him to defend. And he'll upgrade with Gutenberg. He's gotten great use of Gutenberg so far. He'll take the knights, develop it, use his patriotism, and he'll build knights for 3, or only 1 because of patriotism. and grab the rich land. He still hasn't developed his iron, but he can do that next turn. I mean, looking pretty good. He's got even 2 knights he's going for. So he thinks there's a lot of strength-based events in there, which there actually are not. Yellow opens up Rebellion. So I think there were two events that I didn't seed, and this must have been one of them. Really poor timing for me. I'll lose 2 civil actions. I delayed that Colosseum, and it's costed me 2 civil actions. So that sucks, but oh well. And he will get Universitas. That's nice for him as well. And the Swordsman works well with his 2 warriors. He'll build 1 more. And upgrade again, so he's at 7. He doesn't want to be the weakest, so he thinks there's some strength-based events too. So, new deposits is in the hand here. Rats. I mean, new deposits kind of makes sense, but rats. So let's look how this turn's going to go before we do the politics. We need to finish this. Oh, whoops, before we do this, we need to develop the code of laws, finish this, and then we'll build a warrior to get out of corruption. So with this setup here, we need a wonder to spend some of these resources on, especially if we're going to put in new deposits. So Great Wall, I think, the best out of these 3, but St. Pete's is pretty good too. Do I want to seed vast territory? I mean, I only have 1 boat card, so unless I go for cartography, I don't want to put that in. So I'm going to leave that for now. Reign of Terror with Zizka, and I have 4 warriors plus 2. I could improve this tactic and get up in strength. But I mean, if he gets the medieval army tactic, then he'll be pretty strong too. And he's got Nostradamus, so I think that's a bit risky as well. So I guess it's between, if I want to play politics, between new deposits and rats. Or I don't seed anything at all and kind of preserve the fact that maybe I could get more boat cards and I could sort of pretend that I want to be strongest again. And maybe that's the best strategy, because I'll develop Colosseum, so I'll have an extra military action. And then next turn, grab Zizka, improve this tactic here, and maybe I could play something then. Play something like new deposits or vast if I get a lot of boat cards, or rats, something like that. The age is going to end, so I'll end up with 4, which is quite nice. 4 food, so next turn I can get 1 more population out once these yellow tokens are gone. I don't get bread and circuses, which is kind of a shame, but St. Pete's will help me with my happiness unless blue takes it. So let's go to our discard here. I can keep 4 cards, right? So I want to keep this tactic. I might actually throw away the medieval army because I don't have that. The raid seems unlikely now with blue the way he's looking. Want to keep the boat card. Reign of Terror, not so sure about, with Nostradamus and blue looking pretty strong. Definitely don't think I'll need that. And I'll get rid of that. So I'll be left with the vast, the rats, the fighting band tactic, and new deposits. Yeah, I mean, I think that seems fine. Jan Zizka. So what would happen if... Here's the problem is I might not be able to get Jan Zizka. So if I don't get Jan Zizka, It's Michelangelo, I guess, and or Khan. So what might happen, unfortunately, is if blue grabs Bread and Circuses or Richland, which you might want to do, then Janjiška drops off. But the thing is, I really want to play the turn the way I want it, the way it is right now, because I want to get Coda Laws out, and I need to finish the Colosseum. So I guess I'm just gonna have to take that risk, and maybe I'll draw heavy cavalry for Khan, or ending up with Michelangelo is not the end of the world, but it's not that great. Yeah, not ideal. I mean, this game's gotten a bit messy in the last 2 or 3 turns here. But yeah, that's the way it is. So I need to discard one more. Do I? What do I want to discard? Probably want to keep the Vast. Maybe the Rats? So I might want, if I don't get, I mean, Rats still seems pretty playable. I'm not sure I want to give them any more rocks, and I have tons of rocks, so yeah, I think I'll get rid of that. So, get another territory. An aggression. Dark Ages is interesting. There's Michelangelo. We'll see what happens with blue if he takes one of these cards to drop off Žižka. So cartography, if I can get that, that would be pretty awesome for the colony strategy I seem to be going for. So blue will seed something and open and develop territory to decide what I'm going to bid here. So got strategic territory coming up. I mean, normally I might rank this as slightly better than the strategic territory, but the age is going to change soon, so I'm thinking that the strategic territory is a little bit stronger. So I don't want to bid everything, but I'll bid 2 here. I think this is a bit much. Having 3 means I can maybe go for 3 warriors and 3 farms if I get Žižka, and go for this tactic here. So yeah, I think I'm going to bid 2 and 2 and save this bow card. I think it could become valuable. I mean, I still have inhabited territory and vast territory in my hand, so these bow cards are valuable. So I'm going to bid 2 here. Let's see who wins this one. Okay, blue wins it with 3. I'm not sure if I would have gone up to 3. Okay, so blue wins it with 3. He uses a knight and a boat card. Increase population to replace his knights. And he will get 2 rich lands to go with his iron. Yellow will seed an event. Knowledge of the Ancients, okay. So yellow gets 2 signs and a rock. That's nice for him. He's going to go for monarchy. And a 3rd lab. With Acropolis he can get into monarchy and go up to 8. So this is a mistake again, another mistake by me. I should have switched to the fighting band tactic. This tactic's not quite as efficient with my warriors. Oh well. Also, I don't get Žižka. It drops off, of course. So it's getting a bit messy in this game. I do want to seed something, but show what I'm planning to do after first. So cartography looks pretty awesome for me with all my colonies. And St. Pete's is good. I mean, Great Wall is good too, but St. Pete's is a little bit easier to build with 3 steps. And I have a lot of rocks. And then Michelangelo, he just does more for me than Genghis right now, because there are some nice wonders in Age 2. So get him, and then I'll increase pop to get out of corruption. I don't want to play Michelangelo first because then I'll be in corruption, because he'll give me a rock when I grab a wonder. And then next turn I'll be able to finish this, but I do want to play an event because I want to possibly get the strategic territory to get some H2 cards. And I could easily send off one of my warriors and use one of my 2 boats. So I think probably start by playing the Vast, and once I get cartography up, I think I'll be set to get into colonies here. So let's play the Vast and see what happens. Right, so strategic territory does come up. I'm going to switch out of this mode. Whoops. So I think this is a reasonable bid. Whether I want to build another one, probably not. Be down to 4. Be pretty rough. Could get an aggression on me. Yeah, and I want to save some of these guys for more colonization down the line, so I think I'm going to go for 3 here. See what happens. Okay, so I win the colony for 3. That's pretty good news. So definitely need to send off like this, 2 colony cards. That will put me at 8 strength. And let's see what cards I get. Okay, not the best. Ravages and refugees and age 2 aggression. Not quite what I was looking for. Alright, so I need to basically play the turn like I said. I want to explain a bit why I'm not picking knights. My tactic is fairly efficient. I mean, it would have been better if I had gone for the fighting band, if I had 4 warriors, because I get tactics of 4 versus this gives me tactics of bonus of 3. But I think with my Colosseum, I'll just go for cavalrymen if I get a tactic with them. So far I don't have a tactic, so I'm just going to skip knights here. I do want to get out of corruption. Oh, suddenly I can't go out of corruption here. Huh. I wonder why. Okay, well, Michelangelo, and my plan was Michelangelo, St. Pete's, and cartography. So maybe if it's going to be corruption, I might as well play Michelangelo, get St. Pete's, and go for cartography if I'm already going to get corruption. I wonder why I wasn't getting corruption before. Somehow I lost a blue token or something. Maybe when I colonized. Okay, well, I mean, getting Michelangelo and playing him is not the worst thing to do. So cartography. And maybe I don't even increase pop. I could build a stage, but save me an action next turn. And that doesn't seem bad. But I do want to build something potentially, so maybe I will increase this pop. Take the corruption. I think that seems alright to me. I want to play this cartography next turn and finish the basilica. So that's 3 plus 1 is 4 actions. I'll have 1 left, so could grab a tech like irrigation maybe, or breakthrough. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can get out of corruption that easily here because of the not be, I can't build a warrior. Yeah, I know, Benny. All right. So I think that'll be it. I just have to do my discard here. So I think getting rid of that Age 1 aggression seems pretty obvious. Dark Ages seems playable to me. Good Harvest, not quite as much. I'll get rid of that tactic. Rats is playable for sure. I'll get rid of that Age aggression. I don't really want to play the Ravages right now. So yeah, I think I'll go like that. So I still have the Inhabited Territory. Dark Ages, I might play at some stage, and Rats. It's not bad. So the worry here is that there's a strength event somewhere here. I don't think this one is, but possibly some of these ones are strength events. And I don't really want this vast territory to come out yet either. So let's see what other cards I get. It's nice to get some boat cards. Let's see. Could I get one? Ooh, and there comes Scientific Method and Selective Breeding, both technologies I'm got my eye on. Okay, blue doesn't seed something. He'll get his rock production going. And grab one of these wonders, I assume. Get up to 4 science production, that's pretty good. And he'll pick Himeji Castle. Okay, so it'd be nice for some late game wars, or use it to defend himself. Yellow seeds something and opens up uncertain borders. That's really bad for us. I mean, there was no way to increase my strength last turn, so there was nothing I could really do, but it's still a shame. It's the worst possible thing to happen, or the worst possible event. So yellow probably finish his Universitas Carolina here, and he'll grab the irrigation and get to be the strongest. So it's sort of suspicious that there's some strength-based events in here. Probably something like Reign of Terror, or Raiders, Barbarians maybe, Border Conflict. So definitely don't want to be the weakest. And don't want to play anything because I am the weakest. Yeah, just a sec. So I'm going to skip politics. Want to finish this wonder, and then there's 2 ways I can get stronger. I can either build a swordsman like this, but I want to still have a chance on this vast territory. I think I've invested too much already into colonies, so could also develop the cartography and build a warrior. Unfortunately, this navigation came up really early, so I'm looking at yellow or blue to grab that. If I grab the patriotism, then these 2 cards will fall off if blue doesn't grab. So see what happens. I mean, there's some nice government forms here, and selective breeding is looking good, and scientific method. So maybe he'll just ignore it and let it drop off. So that's what I'm hoping. Unfortunately, I would have liked to grab the selective breeding and the scientific method, or either or, but I just don't have enough actions, and I want to get the St. Peter's Basilica up. So that'll be it for my turn. Maybe next turn I'll play an event, but not this turn. Yeah, I don't think... I mean, I might keep this aggression because I'm low on science. And then what else do I want to keep? Probably not the rats. I need as much food as I can get. Maybe discard the Dark Ages. Yeah, I need all the science I can get too. So what I'm hoping for is either Statue or Ocean Liner comes up, and I can grab it with Michelangelo and finish that pretty quick, because this selective breeding is not going to come to me, unfortunately. So I'm going to be a bit starved for food for a bit. I don't really need the organized religion, so that's why I didn't pick it. All I need is 1 temple, and I'll get 2 more happy faces. Let's see if we can get some more boat cards, maybe a tactic. Nope, not the best. Let's see, Eiffel Tower comes out. Maybe that's a possibility for me. We'll have to see. So blue's going to take navigation and selective breeding. Puts me in an awkward spot for this colony, potentially. Sort of predictable, I suppose. And the vast territory comes out first. So with those 3 food, if I do win this, I'll have enough to rebuild 1. So, oh, and I have 1. So if I bid 2, I can rebid 1 to get an army, and I can rebuild with a swordsman. So I think probably 6 is my best bet. I don't know if I'd want to bid any more like 10. I think I'd be too far behind. And I don't have any food to kind of get me going again. So I think 6 is my best bid here. And unfortunately blue gets it for 7 plus. Ouch. So blue's going to take navigation and selective breeding. Puts me in an awkward spot for this colony, potentially. Sort of predictable, I suppose. And the vast territory comes out first. So with those 3 food, if I do win this, I'll have enough to rebuild 1. So, oh, and I have 1. So if I bid 2, I can rebid 1 to get an army, and I can rebuild with a swordsman. So I think probably 6 is my best bet. I don't know if I'd want to bid any more like 10. I think I'd be too far behind. And I don't have any food to kind of get me going again. So I think 6 is my best bid here. And unfortunately blue gets it for 7 plus. Ouch. Unfortunately I didn't record my last turn. So blue won the colony with a knight and 1 single boat card. So I felt pretty annoyed about that because I feel like I've wasted this cartography that I paid 4 science for. But, oh well, some good things happened as well. I did pick up Nobel. And I was able to get a kind of lucky cultural influence because I still had Michelangelo when I ceded an inhabited territory. So I scored 5 culture, so that's kind of nice. And then for my turn, I was able to pick up this Eiffel Tower for just 1 because of Michelangelo, which I think is a nice deal, and it will set me up for some pretty efficient happiness solution. And then Nobel was there for 2, which is great because I'm low on science. So I elected him. And then I sort of had the choice. I could have taken away this organized religion from blue because he doesn't really have a happiness solution yet besides his Stonehenge. But I decided instead to grab this constitutional monarchy for 2, which means all the constitutional monarchies are gone. The only government form left is a republic. And if I cancel this pact at some point, he'll be really low on military actions. So I think that's pretty nice.
What form are you?
I'm Nobel. So next turn, or 2 turns from now, I want to develop this constitutional monarchy, and I'd like to get a cavalryman as well. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so blue is using his political action to offer me this pact where I produce an extra food. I don't want to take it because it's going to take me 3 turns for it to produce a food. If I had selective breeding or something in my hand, then I probably would accept it. But I think it helps him way more than it helps me right now. I mean, it makes sense to offer it to me because my food production is so low, but it's going to take too long and it's going to cause corruption in the meantime. So I'm going to reject this pact. Okay, so blue's going to get into architecture. Finish Himeji Castle for 1 civil action. Gets into journalism. He's really using Gutenberg really well. Increasing population a couple times. And go up to 12 strength, so I'll still be the strongest. Journalism will be activated next turn for him. Yellow opens up foray. Okay, that's nice. Get another population out with that. He goes for... Oh, he wasn't one of the strongest. So he won't go for... He still can't upgrade the coal. He'll grab cavalrymen, so I'm left out of cavalrymen, which could be a problem. I still don't have a tactic. So looking for those cannons when they come out. So... I have all these happy faces, and then I'll be able to finish the Eiffel Tower next turn. So this emigration seems like a pretty good event to play, especially because I am not the weakest. So let's put that out. Okay, jzebra will lose. Blue will lose 1 population. So I want to grab the food to get a population out and finish the tower. And then I have a choice here. Architecture I think is just too expensive for science for me. I need all my science to develop this next turn. So then another option would be Wave of Nationalism, but I don't really have much to spend it on besides upgrading for swordsmen. So I think I need to get the scientific method. It will prepare me for some of these science-based leaders in Age 3 as a kind of hedge against not getting computers. So, I mean, this is a couple turns away, but I think it's still worth picking up. So I'll end the turn. I don't see myself infiltrating anyone. An arms industry without cannons in hand, that's not going to be happening. It's also popularization of science, but maybe if I get that out, it might be better. So end it on that. Hoping still for some more boat cards because I have that inhabited territory. So I get 1, that's okay. And then this tactic, it's unfortunate because there are no more cavalrymen in the deck. So this was a surprise of an event. So blue will seed something, opens up scientific breakthrough. So 4, 5, and 4, pretty equal. And blue will get into rifleman. Increases strength. Grabs Watt. That will help him upgrade his selective breeding. Would work well with a transcontinental, but I guess he doesn't have enough resources for that. And we'll try to get into library next turn, and he gets the wave. Call to arms. Okay, that hits me. Not the end of the world, but not the best either. He will get a transcontinental railroad. He probably would have loved to get Watt. And efficient upgrade for his coal, which he still hasn't upgraded. He's had that for ages. Just hasn't had enough rocks to upgrade it. Okay, so I have 2 boats in my hand. I know that inhabited territory is coming. I also know that emigration is coming as well. And I want this to be a bit delayed. So I'm thinking of actually not triggering this event yet. And instead, I'm going to cancel this pact because that extra military action is really helping blue right now. It will expire soon, probably in 2 turns, but I feel like canceling now is a pretty good idea. And I'm going to get into constitutional monarchy, so I'm going to have a lot of military actions. So it doesn't affect me nearly as much as it affects blue, who's down to 2 military actions. So what else do I need here? Well, I need the cannons. I don't have a tactic yet for it, but surely I could possibly get one. And then, do I want to increase my do I want to increase my military here? So the other thing I need to worry about is when the age rolls over, I might end up with starvation. So I either have to grab this reserves, or leave this around so I can build a agriculture. So one option would be reserves, and then revolutionary idea, I guess. There's also this swordsman in my hand, which I kind of want to develop. So I could develop that, and then I could upgrade and kind of pretend like it's a strength event. The only problem with that is I want to save these actions. I want to save these military actions to draw. So I think I'm just going to keep it like this. And then this revolutionary idea seems really good for me because I got 12 science cost in my hand, and I'm only going to have 6 next turn, so I think I'm going to keep it like this. I mean, to get up to not be the weakest, I'll have to get up to 15, so I'd have to upgrade 3 times. I don't want to. I want to save those actions, so I think I'm just going to keep it like this, and probably end up building an agriculture, unless I can grab selective breeding. Luckily, I'll have enough science to develop it next turn. This also saves me some rocks, so that's kind of nice. And so end turn, have to figure out what to discard. I don't see myself getting into this tactic at all. I need cavalrymen, and it's not going to happen. And then the 2 aggressions, it's unlikely that I'm going to get those. Promise of military protection. Yeah, I don't think so either. So I think I'll play it like this. I mean, if I can get my science up with the scientific method, then that could be pretty good. So I think I'll keep that in my hand. And these 2 strength events, well, if I can get a good tactic, they'll be playable. But right now, it's questionable to play them. All right, so that's my discard. Still no tactic, and didn't get boats. So still only have these 2. And still no selective breeding. And or still no ocean liner. So this is unfortunate for my food production. But hey, there's still a chance with yellow's turn. Okay, so the colony comes up straight away. So that's good in some ways. I mean, so that means there's still a possibility this comes out in a couple turns when the age rolls over, and maybe that could cause some problems for blue and yellow as well. What to bid? Well, I could easily bid 1 and my 2 hard-fought ship cards here, boat cards. Or I could go for 2. It seems like it's overpaying, but then I could build a warrior and upgrade 2 more. So at least it gets rid of some of these warriors. That would put me down to 7. So with my 5 leftover cards, I would have 6 leftover cards. I could still defend with 5. Do I really want this colony? I mean, the 2 tokens would be nice, but I do think that's probably a bit overpaying. If it was inhabited territory too, maybe. So I think I'm going to stick to 7. And of course, blue wins it. Oh well. Haven't been able to draw many of these colonization cards. So, blue's going to win that just using 2 boat cards and a warrior. Yeah, that doesn't feel good to have seeded that and losing it again to blue. Feels like it was a mistake. I figured I would get enough boat cards, but No, I wasn't able to. Okay, so he's going to build a library and goes into Watt. So all he has is selective breeding. I think he's either going to go for that coal or maybe try for oil. Instead, he's going to grab urban growth, maybe get a second library or go for team sports at some stage for happiness. Yellow will seed something, and there is civil unrest, so someone seeded that. But no, the age hasn't ended. I don't think anyone has any discontent workers. Yellow's going to go for Newton without any lab, but he'll get some civil actions back, which will be nice because he doesn't have, he only's got 5 right now. And grab some yellows. I wish I could get some of those yellows. So the age turns over. Nobody's got any discontent workers, unfortunately. Blue would have if he hadn't gotten that inhabited territory. So, yeah, I don't think I want to play that with all my issues with not getting enough bow cards. International agreement, I don't know if I'm going to be the strongest. So if I can get the scientific method out, maybe it would make sense to seed something. But who knows what that is. Maybe it's a strength-based event. I'm not the weakest, though. Oh yeah, maybe throw this out there, because I do intend to eventually go up to scientific method to get up to 6. And we're pretty even right now, 4 or 5. It's pretty close. So let's play that out there and see what happens. Yeah, so that doesn't really have an impact. It probably wouldn't have anytime soon anyway. So there are some options in this turn. I could grab the statue and finish that. So I wouldn't have any food problems, but don't really have much to do with my other action. Like I could maybe develop one of these. And I won't have population coming in. Other options, I could go for the ocean liner, but have some corruption issues and food issues, even though that would be great. But yeah, it's a problem. So basically my only real choice here is to go into selective breeding and then upgrade both of these. I have 2 actions left. So I thought about breakthrough here. I mean, it's pretty good to develop one of these technologies. My science is still pretty low. But if I grab breakthrough, Blue's going to have access to both strategy and republic for 2, and he wants both of those cards. So if I don't grab any cards, then they'll republic will be on 3, and then strategy will be on 2. So what I thought of instead is build another selective breeding. So that gives me 6 food per turn. I can really start to jumpstart my get some population out, and red crosses in the deck, so it's good to have extra food for that. And then for my last action, I think I want to save that patriotism and instead just play a revolutionary idea, and next turn I can develop the scientific method. I wish there were some yellow cards for rocks here to maybe efficiently upgrade or urban growth the scientific method, but oh well. I mean, with this amount of science, I could possibly take a computers if it comes out, so that's pretty good. Right, for my discard, don't see myself spying or warring anytime soon. I'm still looking for a tactic. And so let's see if we can get one here. Probably get a ton of boat cards. War and an impact of strength. And mechanized ag comes out really soon. It's like I could have waited for that and been a bit more efficient. I probably should have predicted this was coming, but I really didn't see it coming, so Blue's going to use it to build a library, grab the strategy, go for that to increase his strength and give him some more military actions, and grab cannons. He just simply can't afford to get the Republic, so he'll go for that next turn, or the fundamentalism. Yellow will finish the railroad, so that's really nice with the coal. He's up to 8 production and 17 strength, and he'll start upgrading his science. He's just banking a ton of it. He's got 28 science right now. So probably going to go for H3 government. Fundamentalism seems a bit extreme, but I guess it's possible if he wants to go military. So in terms of politics, I really am disinclined to play these strength-based events because I don't have a tactic, and my production's not excellent or anything. So don't want to play that because I think blue's just going to win that. Impact of strength, not useful to play now, so I'll skip. So when it comes to freedom of movement, there's nothing obvious for me to do. I've considered putting a warrior into swordsman, but that seems kind of lame. I don't really have any urban buildings to move to and no other military units to move to. So after looking at this for a while, I think the best option for me is to move from one of the farms to one of the mines. It seems a bit weird, but I get a little boost. I get a little boost of food from that last turn, and now I got 6 plus 3. So if I can sort of bank up some food here for next turn. I'll have 9. So I think that's the best thing for me to do. I need production here to keep up. Alternatively, I could take a worker from warriors and go to swordsman. But I think I like this a bit more. I mean, the problem is, when will the Red Cross come out? Maybe I'll stick with this for now. I think it seems a bit strange to move out of that agriculture or selective breeding so quickly. In terms of my actions, I really want to get into the scientific method here. So I'll upgrade once. And then with my extra actions, the revolutionary idea seems really good to get tanks and modern infantry, and maybe even the military theory. And then I think I'm going to take this oil because I think it's going to be really powerful if blue gets it with his watt. So I'll take that away. And it's something I could possibly develop if I wanted to or felt safe enough to. So I think I'll grab that. I mean, I wonder about moving between the selective breeding and iron, but I think I want to bank a bit more food right now and then maybe get into oil if I can. Okay, and discarding. Probably this raid. I don't see myself using that. And maybe the territory. And I mean, maybe I'd play this before I played refugees. It's a bit of a softer strength than that. And I'll keep this war of culture just in case I need it later. Yeah, I think that's the best I can do here. Let's see what comes out. Still no tactic. No other leader. The modern infantry comes out. So blue maybe he'd go for democracy delayed. I mean, yellow would really like this democracy. And yellow's definitely going to go for Pierre. And I think that's going to be pretty strong. I think yellow is looking pretty strong here with his production. And with Pierre coming out early. So blue seeds something and opens historic territory number 2. 11 culture. It's pretty good. It's close in culture here. Happy faces, kind of a nice bonus. But I think that's about as high as I can do. I mean, I guess I can increase pop once, but really wish I had a tactic. So maybe I could go up to 11, but not much more than that. I don't really want to have 2 population buried in that. Well, let's go 11. I think I'm probably going to get outbid, but let's try this. Oh, and I win it for 10. Nice. So I can send out all these. And I can still defend here if AaronWebber attacks because I have 5 other cards. I'll have to send them all off if he wants to do an aggression on me. But that puts me in the lead for culture, so that's kind of nice. Okay, so blue gets into Republic. He'll move up to 3 libraries, or journalists, pardon me. Gets his food going and he grabs computers. 9 culture a turn, 10 science, looking pretty nice. And yellow opens up international negotiations. And he will steal, I think, science from me. Grab democracy. With his Acropolis, that's super nice. Takes satellites and develops that. I wonder if he put in progress. Richland, Pierre, and he's up to 9 culture a turn 2. That's pretty nice. And he'll grab mechanized ag. That will be good for the Red Cross when it comes out, and takes rockets. So he's got cavalrymen and rockets and swordsmen. Whew. I mean, they're both looking pretty strong, right? Maybe I'll give the edge to yellow with his production. Blue's looking pretty good too with all those journalists. Definitely in a bit of trouble here. The culture's fairly close, but only from that historic territory. So if I go all out on military, I could build 2 cannons. But even that would leave me weakest. So I don't think it's worth trying to avoid, let's say, a Cold War or something like that. So I think it's worth playing something here, but not the strength yet, and not this international negotiations, but population, but balance is looking good for me, and I can plan for that. So I'll play that, get 3 culture. Okay, autonomous territory. So what could I do with that? I mean, I don't think I'm going to win this. I wish I had a territory, or sorry, a tactic. I could plan a little bit around this. I'm not going to win it, but if I did, I'd probably take rocks and start rebuilding cannons. So I'd be able to rebuild 5 + 7, 13, 2 cannons. But with no tactic, that's not going to work. So I think probably I'll just pass on this. I mean, AaronWebber, yellow, is probably going to bid this one up. I don't want to reveal that I have no cards, even though that's pretty obvious. So I think I'm going to pass on this one. So blue wins it with 12. Interesting. I'm sort of wondering if yellow would win that. But that's pretty good for blue. And he sends out a rifleman and 2 H3 boats. It's nice that he got those 2 H3 boats. Now, since he got this, I'm feeling a little bit less worried about being attacked by yellow, an aggression from yellow. I'm going to draw a few cards, so I think I should be safe. If I want to go full out military, then it would look like this, with patriotism and 2 cannons. So that would be 18. And then I could grab the modern infantry, the tanks, and the revolutionary idea. So that would be sort of full-on military. The other option is, I thought about Einstein, but he only gives me the equivalent of what Alfred Nobel's giving me, plus 3 culture for every technology. So I think I'm going to wait for either Churchill, whoops, put this on again, either Churchill or Gates. I think those are better, and I don't want to spend that for 2 actions on Einstein. So the other option is I could grab these techs and the revolutionary idea and go for this reserves and build 1 cannon and then grab this reserves. So this is kind of a middle option with 15, and I could build a couple more warriors. But what I've been wondering is if it's better to kind of risk it a little and go for oil here. Gives me 9 production, so I really keep pace with everyone. And then I can still grab the tanks and modern infantry and the revolutionary idea. And then upgrade 1 of these because I guess the most likely tactic I'll get is the modern army, and it needs 2. So I could get up to 13. If he plays an event and it turns out to be Cold War, then I could get the 6 science. And I'm set up with good production. I'll have 9 science next turn, plus 6 is 15, so I could develop 2 of these techs for a tactic. And I don't have to stress about getting these yellows as much with my production. And I mean, if I'm going to go for oil, it's going to be now. So I think that's going to be it for me. This might be the wrong decision, but we'll have to see. I think I like it to get this extra production. Oh, okay, nice. This could be one of the better ones to get. Positional army. So I just need to get the modern infantry going and the cannons. And Gandhi comes out, might be an option. Okay, so blue tries for a pact on yellow, which yellow rejects. He'll grab Einstein, okay. Gets 2 extra science. And he'll go for Manhattan Project. I mean, with his 12 science, that seems pretty good. And a reserves and cannon and another warrior. He's worried about strength. Going for Napoleonic army, just one of those. He's at 23, he's the strongest. And this is an oof, a big oof for me. So I did think about being vulnerable to an attack. The only way to really get out of it would have been to go all out on military with 2 cannons. So I was taking a bit of a risk, but I think it wasn't worth it. Losing this amount of rock or food is really bad. So unfortunately I can't defend because I didn't draw a boat card, so gotta concede. Okay, so yes, the aggression went through. He steals 3 rocks for food. And go for mechanized ag. Another arena for culture, 61. Plus 11 a turn at civil service and patriotism. It's looking pretty strong. His only weakness really is military actions. So this is pretty rough for us. Popularization of science and some other event. We're okay on science, but blue's got a huge advantage on us. This doesn't seem that appealing. Impact to population doesn't seem that good. Impact to strength, no, not right now. International tourism. Gonna help out blue, maybe? I don't know. think I'll just skip politics here. So I really don't want to be hit by another aggression. I mean, I could gamble again, just go for a boat, but I think the story of this game is me repeating the same mistakes, like with the colonies. So I think we need to get our military going, get this tactic going. Not to be next turn, but start it anyway. So play with patriotism. Then we can build a cannon and upgrade. So we get to 19, so we can defend now. So, unfortunately, it leaves us with a tricky choice. Gate seems good, right? Don't want to change to him straight away, though, because we'll be down to 17. So I could grab him and grab reserves. Alternatively, we could sort of gamble and hope that he lands back at us. I mean, they both have already picked their age 3 leaders. And consolation prize would be Winston Churchill if he comes out. So in that case, we could go for the military build-up and this reserves. So then they would have to pick. So then there's this military theory, which is really valuable to yellow. If I'm going to war someone, it's probably going to be yellow. And yeah, that's sort of appealing to grab. So I could grab the military theory and then this reserves, and then hope that Bill Gates doesn't go. Maybe we leave the military theory. I don't think he's going to take it. He's already got strategy, so we'll go to yellow. But there's another one too. But it could be buried at the deck. I think it makes sense to grab this and then grab the reserves. Fortunately, our science production is not that good right now. Take 2 turns to afford this. Maybe we just leave it for yellow. Nah, I think we need to take it. I think I'm going to go like this. Take away his military actions. Our only real chance to get some culture is a war with this tactic. I don't think we're going to win this game, but maybe we can play second if the cards go in our favor. Okay, so yeah, that'll be it. 2 military cards. Let's get rid of this one. Don't think I'll play that. We need to keep the war. Would I want to play this? I don't think so. Let's see. Yeah, see, we didn't get a boat card. So that would have been very risky. And what else? Oil comes down a bit late, and the other military theory. Oh dear. Oh well. Okay, blue seeds something and opens crime wave. Just lose some culture, not the worst. And he'll go for computers with Einstein. And yeah, build one. And grab urban growth reserves, military theory. Okay, so Bill Gates is not going to happen. And he takes movies. And yellow, of course, takes the military theory that I meant to deny. Well, I denied one of them, but he got the other one in very short order. And upgrades his science, grabs the last computers. Goes for another farm. He's 7 a turn, getting ready for Red Cross. And there is the Red Cross. So I'm wondering about playing this. Pretty close to yellow. I don't see blue. Maybe he'd upgrade, but I think I'm going to play it just for the culture. I mean, I'm not the best on the science, but I think I need culture right now. Okay, so I could just go for International Red Cross here and then maybe grab engineering. But the thing is, blue is not going to be able to grab it very easily because he still has this Manhattan Project in production. So I don't think it's worth getting that. And yellow doesn't actually have that much food yet. So I think I'm going to hold off and instead get my military going a little bit and sort of prepare for next turn, maybe a war. Not sure how possible it is, but it is the Olympic Games, so I can't really do a war here, but possibly next turn. Possibly get in the range of that. The thing is, the Manhattan Project is causing problems. Basically, I think I should just try to maximize for impacts here and hope for the best and maybe pick up this if I'm fortunate. So I think I want to build a cannon and upgrade and then get out of corruption like that. And then revolutionary idea seems good because I still have these guys. This reserve seems good. And I could maybe deny the mechanized ag, but it doesn't seem all that good to me. Grab this for 2. Yeah, that might be good. I know I'm going to use that. Yeah, I mean, this game's not looking so good for me, but I do have balance and agriculture, so that's nice. Balance will be 12, but if I can upgrade that, so I could also go like this. Oh, not quite enough. Yeah, I think grab this. And then maybe I could go for impact of strength. We'll see. Yeah, maybe I'll play this out. No, I'll leave it. I'm going to draw more. Don't see myself playing science or pop. Still looking for a leader. Impact of wonders, pretty good. Happiness is good. Sid Meier, not who I'm looking for. Oh well. Blue is not going to play an action, takes tanks. And go for some strength here. Gets another computers. Getting a ton of science. And we'll fix his happiness. Start his Manhattan Project. Really taking advantage of all his science. So yellow's offered me this pact. Means I can't attack him, but I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do a war or anything here. There's only 5 cards left, so he just has to take 3. And he's got a fair bit of action, so what will this actually do to help me? I'm not sure what, really. If I want to play Impact of Strength, I need to be stronger than both of them, so I think I will reject this pact. Okay, so yellow goes for a wonder which I didn't catch in Civil Service Multimedia. Leaves me the Red Cross. Space flight he's going for. That's really nice for him. Yeah, this is looking pretty bleak in terms of ways to win. I have no war option, so basically I can go for impacts. So I think the best one for me is the happiness. Wonders isn't bad, but strength is a possibility, but I think I'll go for happiness here. Okay, that's pretty good for me. Apologies about the kids in this recording. So I could go for the red cross here and just build 3 to score 18. That puts me at 122. So that's 18 points. But I wonder if I need to try to... So I can get 6 like this. And then if I do this, I can do tanks and military theory. So that makes me a... This kind of helps with more impacts. And then if I upgrade here, I'm a bit more balanced, and I can build a religion for variety, and I can use one more to upgrade for competition. So I think that's the best I can do here. And yeah, I'll play the tactic. But yeah, this is not looking too good for me. I think yellow's got it with this space flight. I think he's got it. But blue's ahead right now, and we will get 19 from the Manhattan Project. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. But yeah, I think I'm just out of this for sure. So blue tried to attack yellow with plunder, but didn't work out. Places build up, goes for oil, goes for movies. He's getting a lot of culture from Einstein. Grabs democracy, develops that. Wow. And tanks. And Manhattan Project 45-51. So going for strength wouldn't have been a good option. Yellow doesn't seed, will finish his space flight, go for 4 arenas. And yeah, he's looking pretty balanced too, so it's a pretty rough finish here. Harmony coming out. Oh. Balance. Not so good either for me. Blue's looking pretty good. It's close. Government, even for blue and yellow. Happiness. This is the only sort of semi-good one for me. Wow, it's super close between yellow and blue. Variety. Ooh, that might have clinched the win for blue there. Okay, so blue wins it. He's on a roll here. I think he's won almost all his games. So, yeah, I mean, I had major problems here. I think, to begin with, Sun Tzu was a poor choice. I think Hippocrates would have been better. He did not do that much for me. And then I had sort of Michelangelo for 1 or 2 turns, and then Nobel was good. But food was a big problem in the middle of the mid-game. Couldn't get my food production going. And basically I produced no new culture in the end game. So yeah, there were some major problems for me. I sort of couldn't commit to one particular way of winning, like military or culture or impacts. I felt like I couldn't commit to either one of those, so basically I was stuck kind of treading water. Wasn't my best game, not my best play, but if you guys watch this, I hope you enjoyed it, and try to do some of these again in the future. Thanks for watching.